Hi guys, I'm Lindsay Martyr, Digital Marketers Managing Editor, and today I'm here to share with you our 6-step process for socializing a blog post. Not only is this process good for brand new content, but if you use this process, you're guaranteed to have perpetual life for your content. So, you've written a brand spanking new blog post and now you're ready to put it out into the world. But how do you do that? Where do you share it? How do you share it? What time do you share it? What can you do to give your content maximum exposure? That's what we're talking about today. This 6-step process is what Digital Marketer uses for all of our new content. And what's more, it's the same process that's in place for all our old content. And all of that old content is still getting new audiences, still getting new eyeballs, and still getting new clicks. And that's because we followed this process. Step 1, you want to splinter your content. Content splintering is the process of breaking off bits and pieces of your content and sharing them on their own. That can mean headlines, quotes, images, questions, or even statistics. You want to use every piece of meat from the buffalo and get that in front of as many people as possible. The goal here is so that people don't become blind to your content when you're sharing it over and over again, and you always want to plan on putting it in front of new people and keeping their interest. Now let's talk about step 2. This is the part of the process where you visualize your content. Visual content is necessary to drive engagement and clicks on social media. So, once you have your splinters, your headlines, your images, your statistics, and your quotes, how do you put those together to make them into visual pieces for your audience? Digital Marketer turns our content into quote boxes, images, we make infographics, we share GIFs, we have screenshots. The entire purpose of this is to keep your content fresh, keep it from going stale in front of your audience, and making sure that when people are scrolling on social media, you're showing them something that makes them stop. Now that you have your splinters and your visuals, you're ready for step 3, and that's to broadcast your content. But wait. Before you start sharing your post all over the internet, you need to create the proper links. Remember, you can't optimize what you don't measure, so you need to make sure your links are prepared to capture those clicks, capture time on the page, and tell you as much information about your audience as possible so that you can keep creating content they want to read. For the guys that crunch the numbers at Digital Marketer, it's so important to them that I'm sharing content online with these attributions correct. They get to tell me all the information I need and guide the way I create content. So you're looking here and you want to make sure you have your social network filled in. You want to have your distribution method, whether that's organic, whether you're putting money behind it. You want to have a description of your content that you're doing, and you want to have your campaign ready. So how would we be sharing this post, the one you're reading right now? Well, here's an example of what the final UTM link would look like. But of course you don't want to share that on social media because who would click something that long and complicated looking? You want to use a link shortener to make your links more attractive for social media, and the biggest reason is that you don't want to take up more space than necessary when you're writing copy. Think about Twitter where you have 140 characters to use. I like to keep my links all in Bitly. I keep them organized there, and it makes it much easier for me to keep track of who's clicking, where they're from, and when they're clicking. Bitly gives us all that information so that you can put your content in front of the right audience at the right time. Yay! Now you're ready to share your content. So step 4 is all about tagging, because the longer reach you can get for your content, the better. And chances are with your content, you've used some great examples, you've mentioned other people in your industry, and you should absolutely use this as an opportunity for networking. So when broadcasting a post, tag people, tag brands, and tag hashtags wherever it makes sense. Do what you can to keep your content going and staying afloat. Let's talk about step 5, where you're monitoring how your content's performing. Remember when I talked about Bitly and how it'll tell you who's clicking, where they're clicking, and when they're clicking? This is really important. Most of the social media action will occur in the first 48 to 72 hours of your brand new content being online, so you want to use Bitly to monitor immediate performance. But I need to know how our content is performing to justify continuing exposure for that content on that platform. Bitly is great at telling me who's clicking, who's sharing. I can get backlinks to who's sharing, where in the world they are, and when they are. Still with me? Now let's talk about step 6. You've done the hard work. You created the content, you tagged everybody, you made your links, you figured out what platforms you want to be sharing on. Now you're in the final stretch. You want to schedule. Scheduling your content into a social media management tool results in perpetual sharing and content distribution with no action needed from you after loading it into your library. Let me say that again. It requires no further action from you. That's a really big deal. That means your content will continue breathing and continue getting eyeballs on it with no further effort from you. That sounds like a huge win. You get a whole lot for a whole little. And that's it. That's our 6-step process for socializing a blog post. I really hope you've gotten a lot out of it. I hope that you're going to see perpetual life for all of your content if you follow these steps. I know you'll get more eyeballs. I know you'll see more clicks. This just works. And of course, let us know how your results are. You can always tag us at Digital Marketer or find us on Facebook on the Digital Marketer Facebook page. I'm Lindsay Martyr. I hope this has been helpful. See you guys later.